Manchester won the European Cup Winners' Cup.
Motherwell 2, Celtic 1. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround here this afternoon.
Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Steenie, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers open the scoring. Happy Tawdry. 12 minutes of the match remaining.
What a sneak.
A stunner from Kenny Miller. Rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at Rangers Radio Online.
He's gone into the middle, McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, has he got it? That flies in! He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Well, hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining myself, Fox, here on the panel this evening is the one and only Bridgeman and Big Ulster Bear. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Hello, everybody. Hope you're all keeping good.
Can I just say a big good evening to the panel and a big good evening to everybody in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Ulster? How's the family?
Everybody's keeping very well. Thank you very much, mate. Everyone's doing great.
Who did you watch the game with Wednesday night, mate? With the tribe?
With the tribe, father-in-law, my father, my few cousins, my friend, a few my good mates, and a wee nephew as well. So, full squad as usual, and everybody delighted.
Good man, good man. How are you, Bridgeman? How are you? How are you feeling, mate? Give the world an update. I know Mr. Trump's listening to see how you're doing, mate.
Mr. Trump. I was went out again today. Another adventure out into the big wide world today with a wife, and went up to John Lewis in town.
Oh, stretching a bit, Bridge.
Stretching a bit, pal. So she drove me up there, and I walked around just a wee bit around John Lewis. Quite enjoyed it. Bumped into. Do you remember I told you before I bumped into Pedro Casino up there, and I sort of I shook hands with him and spoke to him, and as soon as Pedro went away, this guy came over, one of the guys that works in there, and he says to me, "I see you speaking to the boss there." So he saw me. I was up at the TV, but he saw me and he came over. He says hello. He says, "Did you get the game last night?" I says, "No, I never made it. I was watching on the TV type thing." He says, "Oh, it was fantastic." He says, "I loved it. What a great game." So we got talking to him for a few minutes, and then the wife came along and dragged me away from it all, you know.
So you managed it physically, did you?
Physically, okay, not a problem. Well, we went and we got a bit of lunch, and we walked around. She wanted to look at chairs, and we had a nice bit of lunch, and then home. We were home for about 4 o'clock-ish, you know.
All right, okay. So you're past the fitness test.
I'm starting to get past the fitness. I did say to her, I'm starting to think about driving, and that may happen maybe midweek next week. Start driving again. Once I get back into it and behind the wheel, then I'm mobile again. That's the most important thing.
All right, brilliant. Well, obviously we'll be talking about Graham Docherty. Graham Docherty. That was a boy I grew up with. Greg Docherty. We'll hear from your manager, Graham Murty, and we'll be looking forward to the Ross County game. So if people want to join us, Bridge, what's the number?
The number is 0141 356 1972.
What else can they join us, Ulster?
You can join us on Skype, go on to Rangers Radio Online, and also on the Facebook page, which is Rangers Radio Live Streams.
Yep. And also in the lobby, there's a Skype button that'll bring you direct to Fox, and he'll friends request, and he'll bring you right in to ask the panel anything. Join the panel or talk about anything Rangers related. You enjoying the Greg Docherty signing, Ulster?
Yes, young Scottish talent. I think that's what we need at times. You know, we've tried the foreign route, and I know it's worked for us in the past with the Dutch and different things, but I think there was maybe too many at one time, and I think now we're starting to get good young British talent into the team, especially boys that it's even better that they know what the club's all about and what it means to play for Rangers. So that with the mix of Candias and stuff, it's very exciting times. I think he's a big prospect. We've seen Hamilton have produced top quality players in the past, but especially two of them going down to England doing really well. So the talk is at Hamilton that they think this guy's just as good as the two that went down there. So hopefully we've got a cracking young player in our hands here for the next long lot of years.
How important is it for you, Ulster, that the boys do know what our club's about, mate?
I think it's very important. I think sometimes players in the past, the ones maybe coming up from England, etc., or from across the seas, they don't. I just don't think they get it. Even Warburton at times, he was. Anytime you were talking to them about certain results, they kept telling you about how much we'd won, but they weren't. Say you had drawn away from Ross County, they couldn't understand that drawing at Ross County for Rangers isn't good enough.
Disaster.
Yeah, whether boys like Dockery grew up, he knows himself. Like the Rangers, you gotta be winning those games, and if you don't win those games, it's not good enough. So I think that's like some Murphy have all grown up with us, the same as ourselves. Demand to win. So hopefully that works for us and pushes us on to the next level.
What about yourself, Bridge? How important is it for you, mate?
You mean for the knowledge of what Rangers are, what they should be, and what we'd like to do? Well, I think it becomes more crucial with the more desperate we get as a fan base, But I do think that the likes of the manager we've got, he's come in and he's got himself immersed into Rangers, which is a great thing for us. And everybody he's trying to sign now, he's got to make sure that they get a basic knowledge of what Rangers are about. And he's bringing in the likes of Jimmy Nicholl. The history's starting to build again. And these young lads that are coming in, they're all going to come through. And that young boy Goss, just for saying sake, I mean, I don't know what he's told him or what anybody could have told him. But my goodness gracious, he put his body about and done some lovely stuff. So hopefully, on top of everything, that guy's going to get a good lesson as well into what Rangers are. And it's vitally important that we teach them. Sometimes the likes of the boy coming in, Greg Docherty, who's supposedly a lifelong Rangers fan, he doesn't need that much teaching and that much training on that side of things. But a lot of the boys that we will bring in, because we'll certainly bring boys in from down in England who may never have witnessed or gotten to get involved at all with the Rangers, they might need that kind of assistance. So we must keep it going, and we really do. It's vital for me that they learn about it.
Ulster mentioned Warburton there, and the surprising thing about that partnership was the fact that Davy Weir wouldn't be in his ear saying, look, it doesn't matter what you've done on Wednesday night, you draw to Ross County on Saturday and it's a national disaster.
Yeah, your words are right, and those words should be ringing in everybody's ears, not just Warburton. Warburton seemed to do something at the start of his tenure at Rangers, and then for some reason or other, the whole thing seemed to just go a kilter. Sorry, Ulster, if I interrupted you, I do apologise.
No, I was just going to add in, I think Walter Smith always put it right. No matter how good Rangers were doing, he always said the same line, you're only one game away from a crisis at Rangers. It only takes you to slip up one game and the fans are... I think Warburton, that was one of his problems. He kept going on about the home form. Look how good we haven't been beaten in so many games at home. But he didn't understand. And as you say, with Davy Weir there, you'd surprise, the games away weren't good enough at times. It doesn't matter what your home form's like. Rangers demand to win no matter where we go.
Yeah. And then obviously Pedro came in, and I don't think he grasped it at all. I think one of the two of them had a common fault, common character flaw. They were stubborn, and they didn't grasp that Scottish football was harder than they thought. But that's my personal opinion. You might see it differently, Bridge.
Well, I think that Warburton found out latterly, most assuredly latterly, that the fans will turn. The fans will turn on you. You'll get all the support, but as soon as they think you're not doing the right thing, i.e. the Rangers thing, then they let them know. And I think that's what happened to Warburton. And then Warburton's mind just drifted away. His mind left Rangers, and he ended up where he is. And that's a sin for him, because he could have been the leader of a great movement if he'd just get his mind round to what we're speaking about, And
when Greg Docherty comes in, and the boy and box-to-box midfield player. I think Fox said he reminds me of sort of Ian Durrant type. I've obviously seen him when he's played against them, but I've got a terrible habit. I only watch the one team Ulster, but if he's half the player at Durrant, that's 600,000 is a steal.
Oh yeah, if he's half the player, mate, he'd be a steal. I'm the same as you. I don't really notice other players, but that game at Ibrox I was at, he caught my eye. He was absolutely fantastic. He was the best player on the pitch that day, young fella, so he was. So obviously, Rangers aren't putting a punt in it for one game. Obviously, we've been watching them. I've been listening to different people on the Facebook and stuff, on different pages who watch Scottish football a lot more than what I would, other teams and stuff, and they're really excited by him. So hopefully it all goes well, and he does a great job for us for many years to come, as I say.
And what about yourself, Bridge? Off the player Durrant, we've got some player on our hands.
Wow, yeah. I mean, it's a high line to sort of get yourself up to, but yeah, you're right. He looks a great player, and Ulster's words are correct. There's very few players that I'm even interested in watching, and you take notice. Some players make you take notice, and if I find that boy that's signed for us, New Cummins, he made us take notice when he was playing with the Hibs against us, and that boy Doherty, when he played against us, he made us take notice because he was a smashing player, really good player, very effective. And before him for Hamilton was a wee boy I've spoke about many times, the wee boy Ali Crawford. I just thought he's just too light, he'll never make it, and so on and so forth in the Rangers strip. But as I say, I heard something yesterday that Rangers were actually interested in him. I don't know how true it is, But there you go. There's only a number of players that catch your eye that in today's market anyway. Because really and truly, there's only one team that I want to watch, and that's Rangers. I don't really care. I just want to watch Rangers.
Well, we've also, before I go to, we've been joined with some calls. I think it's only right that we hear from Greg Docherty. So if you don't mind going to mute, lads, let's hear from Greg Docherty.
To finally put pen to paper.
Yeah, very special. It's a great feeling to come in here this morning. It was, I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. So for it to finally come around, it means a lot.
When you were playing through the youth systems at Hamilton, did you think this day would ever come?
I'd always hoped it would. To be honest, I didn't think it'd come this early on in my career. So it wasn't the original plan. But when I knew they were interested, I knew this was the perfect platform for me to go and play and express myself. And I'm really looking forward to getting started.
The manager has said to us this morning that you're here for the long term. So are you concerned at all about game time this season, or is it a case of just building up for the future?
A bit of both, I think. Obviously the team are doing well just now, so I know I've got a fight in my hands to get in the team, and I know I'll need to be patient, and that's fine. I'm prepared to work and do my best, but of course, like you say, I'm here for the long term, and if I can be part of something, and it was sold to me that there's a project here, and I'm itching to get started.
What have these last few weeks been like for you?
Hectic, not a lot of sleep, a lot of moaning, but I've had to just get on with it. I mean, up until Wednesday at 4 o'clock, I was playing for Hamilton at the night time against Hearts, so I've just had to keep going and do about my business, and that's football. Obviously, waiting for that phone call, and when it came, I was delighted, to put it mildly. When
all your family are all Rangers fans as well, to add a bit of something extra special?
Yeah, of course. For me to be here is really special, like I say, as a fan, but I want to iterate that as here for a footballing decision as well. I think I'm here and this is the right place for me to go and play and develop, and the facilities here are incredible. And I think obviously all the staff, everyone's been very welcoming, and I know I can hopefully thrive in this environment, and now I'm in the door. I know it might take time, but I'm ready to push on.
There was a lot of noises from down south that clubs were interested in you. Talk about Crystal Palace perhaps coming in. Was this always about Rangers?
Yeah, like I said, when I knew Rangers were interested and I heard about their plan, the project they've got in place, and this was always it for me. I knew I was pushing to come here, and if anything was to come about, I'd still be knocking the door at Hamilton to come here. This is where I wanted to be. I'm still going to be at home. My family are still going to be around me, so I've got a great support network. And yeah, like I said, this is the right place, I think, where I can go and develop now and really kick on.
So you happily knocked back English Premier League to come here then?
Yeah, well, it's not that easy, I suppose, but look, I think now I knew I wanted to stay here. I wanted to prove myself on the big stage, and I think I'll be given a chance here, maybe sooner than I might have if I'd went down south. So that was another factor. And obviously the management team trained with them today. The standards high, and I've got a lot of improving to do, but I feel like I'm settling in well already, and I've only been here a few hours, so that's massive for me. And I did get an inkling that I would settle in quite well. everybody here, like I say, has been great so far. And yes, I really do believe this is a perfect place for me to go and kick on.
You've obviously done so well to get your opportunity to move here, but is there a sense that this is where the hard work starts now if you really want to cement yourself a place? Yeah, massively. I think this is, like you say, that this is the hardest work that will be done that I've ever had to do before, in a sense. So yeah, really the hard work does start now. I think I've got to go and prove myself, and like the last few weeks, the fans have been great with me. The messages I've received, all support. So I know I've got to go and prove to them that I'm worthy of playing for Rangers, and that I've got to prove to myself. I do believe I am, but again, that's a pressure I like. I want that pressure of wanting to prove to them and continuously do well for them. And from the people I've been speaking to, that's only been good things. And I know obviously how big this club is, and I know how special it is. So yeah, I'm really excited to get going. You was just referring to your induction into the training with Jordan Rossiter, made his mark on you. Is that set the sort of tone of what it's like to play at a club like this, the sort of standards, the sort of intensity that you're going to get every day in training and games? Yeah, I think so. Obviously that was kind of welcome to Rangers message, I think, but like that's good. I mean, I'm used to seeing that from other players, obviously at Hamilton as well. They've got their ways of going about it, but we got up, shook hands after. It was a great tackle. I mean, everyone's talking about it, but did a couple of somersaults, but it was a good tackle. And but like that's good. I like that. That's part of my game I like as well, and like that's going to spur me on, make me do things a bit quicker maybe. And obviously the training's a great standard, so but I feel like I can hold my own as well. And welcome to Rangers, I suppose. Rangers have quite a lot of depth in your sort of central midfield position. Is that something that worries you at all, or does that sort of strive you on? It's drive me on, absolutely. I think that's like I say, the hard work starts now for me to really push and prove that I can get in this team. And once I get in the team, to try and stay there, that's the next aim. But I know it might take time, and I know it might not. So I'm prepared to bide my time, put the work in, and when I get my opportunity, I'm wanting to grasp it with both hands. No disrespect to Hamilton, but you see your first training session here, have you noticed that things are a level or two above what you've been used to previously? It's difficult because also Hamilton, what I will say is they've got the standard of training is always top at Hamilton. Martin Cann doesn't let it drop, that's for sure, and everybody, even the players, don't let it drop at Hamilton. So I'm used to a fast tempo, which helped me. Obviously I'll be adjusting to my new teammates and things like that, and getting used to different players. But of course it is a massive club. There are big players here, and I'm looking to learn off them in particular. So that's another massive factor for me coming here. And like I said, everybody's made me feel really welcome. So I think I can go on and push on now. We spoke to Martin last week, and he said that you had the potential to go on and do as well as the two Jameses at Hamilton. Is that something that you believe that you've got within yourselves to reach the set of peaks that those two players are? I think you have to. I think obviously you look at them, the benchmark they've set. They've set the benchmark for Hamilton's youth system, and I think that's what you want to better them in a sense. And like I say, I think me coming here is a massive decision in the footballing aspect of it, that I can go and kick on, I can go and play, and it's a massive platform. It doesn't come bigger in Scotland for this. So like it's a huge club, and I know that, and I know the ins and outs of the club. So again, I want to go and better the McCarthy's and McArthur's. So I think this for me now, this is where it starts. It's Ross County this weekend. You face them for Hamilton. What kind of game are you expecting? Particularly up there, it's always difficult. It's a hostile little ground. Fans are very passionate, and it's good. They're a good side up there, particularly, and I think they're in a false position, to be honest. They've got some real good players, and I think they'll definitely give us a good game. But I think obviously we need to go there, name of 3 points. They need to win every game at Rangers, so that's the aim, and that won't change. I know you've only had one training session so far, but you're hoping you'll get some time out of the pitch on Sunday? Yeah, of course, but if it doesn't come on Sunday, then I'm not going to be too disheartened about it. Like I say, I mean, that'd only be, I've not trained with the whole squad yet, only trained with part of the squad. So tomorrow will be my first real training session, preparing for a match, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes about. And I'm just willing, like I say, I'm ready to kind of bide my time a wee bit if need be. But if I am put in the firing line, then I'm ready to go, of course. I'm ready to get going, but again, I will be patient, and I won't get too disheartened if I'm not. You often see on Twitter, there's all these guys that get the stats from the performance in the league, and you always seem to be high up in terms of goals from midfield and things like that. I mean, do you expect, having played with a team like Hamilton, achieved that, but playing with Rangers, you're going to come against teams, different tactics, perhaps sitting in a little bit more, that you're going to have to adjust your game in a sense. You're perhaps not going to have the same amount of room that you would normally get top of it. Yeah, but I think obviously with Rangers they expect to dominate the ball. That's another factor that I was like, that would be good for me to get on the ball. But like you say, from playing against Rangers, from the Hamilton side of things, you do tend to sit in at times, and then when you've got your opportunity, you kind of try and make it happen. And like I said, so it will be different, and that might take a bit of adjusting. But like,
again, you'll be playing in a team that I'm sure everybody will help me get through it, but I'm itching to get going and get a taste of it.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. We've been joined by Rudy Bear and Ibrox Loyal. And Fox. How are we doing, gentlemen?
All right. Evening, guys. Evening.
I'll go to Rudy first. What an articulate young man, eh?
Smashing. Absolutely delighted. Enjoyed his interview there. I watched the wee bit he done for Rangers TV yesterday as well, last night or whenever it was. But absolutely delighted. We've got him. 600 grand, I think, is going to turn out to be an absolute steal. I think we've got him in a 4.5-year contract, haven't we? Aye. Absolutely delighted. Very articulate, intelligent, but on the park, a great competitor. He's a real competitor, is Greg Docherty, and I can't wait to see him in our midfield, And our midfield's looking really strong now, so it's here the day that apparently we're in for a defender as well, the rumour is, bringing our defender in. But I mean, you could just hear he's so excited to be there, can't you? Yeah, you can hear it in his voice. He's itching to get started. His family are family are all Rangers supporters as well. They must be absolute bursting with pride right now because I know I would be if it was one of my family. Smashing. I'm absolutely delighted for him.
Mate, I'm absolutely over the moon, mate. Every time I hear him speak, mate, he always puts a smile on my face. You can hear it in his voice, how proud he is to be our club. Just as you were talking about earlier, people that actually know what the club's about. You do that to me,
Ibrox. Every time I hear you put a smile on my face.
Maybe for different reasons, but no, as I say, mate, he's going to be a quality player for us. As he says, he'll work his time, mate. If he doesn't get in the team straight away, he'll be downhearted. It'll just make him work extra hard in training just to prove that when he does get in the team, that he's got to really work so hard to stay in it. But again, so young, so articulate, and his family must, as Rudy says, must be bursting with pride because they're all blue noses and so is he, and you can hear it in his voice. And to me, he's just like another Jimmy Murphy, mate. The two of them are very special Rangers supporters, mate, and I can't wait to see them all on the same team together, mate, because it'll only make us stronger as a unit when they're on together. So,
anybody who's got the cough, go on mute because we don't want Bridge getting a virus.
The point you made a wee bit earlier there, Ox, about is it important to bring sort of blue noses into the club? 100% for me, absolutely, because they've grown up supporting the club. They know what the club means. They know what's acceptable. And I think, we went through a sort of 3 or 4 years there having players at the club that just didn't get it. These boys get it. Jamie Murphy gets it. Greg Docherty gets it. They understand. They've grown up. Their families have grown up watching Rangers and supporting Rangers. So they get it. And this, for me, is the direction that we should have been going in 2, 3, 4 seasons ago.
Fox?
Got to agree with the rest of the boys. Very articulate young man. I think he's a credit to Hamilton Youth Academy, the way he's been brought up into football, and also a credit to his family, mate. Very intelligent, no need any media training whatsoever. Perfectly comfortable, obviously, doing interviews. I liked his attitude, that he's willing to be patient and work hard. And that's the sign. I'm not going to say I've noticed a lot about him, mate, to be honest with you. But according to reports, he's a good, fine young player. So I'll just wish him well, mate.
I am. I enjoyed it. I heard it today, and I obviously listened to it again, and I just struck how mature the young man was, Bridge.
Yeah, I think he's actually feel quite proud listening to him, A young lad, he's only 21, and he can come on and actually talk to the nation, basically, from a football perspective. Answered every question. Had nothing, so I don't agree with some of the questions he was asked, but he did the business absolutely superb, I'm very impressed by him, very impressed. I'm much like what Loyal was saying there, there are a number of players who have come in during this window who are Rangers through and through, Some of them younger than others, of course, but it's really good that you're bringing people like that in for different reasons, from different sources. I just wish they could just get them all from an English area rather than from Scottish teams, you know. It's just my thoughts. All right.
I think I don't know if he's going on mute, mate. He's maybe get a phone call or something. But
you there, Foxy?
I'm here, mate. I'm here.
All right. Okay.
We've got to watch Bridge. I know you've got a slightly different opinion, because we could end up with somebody like him moving to, say, Crystal Palace, and then kicks the ball twice in the Premier League, and it costs us £5 million to get him.
Of course, I understand these things fully. Yeah. I'm under no illusions whatsoever, you know. I just mean that I've just got this thing about it. I would rather we paid £1 million to somebody in England, or give three quarters of a million or £1 million to somebody in Scotland. It's just my thought process, that's all.
See, to be honest, Bridge, I kind of thought that as well at one point, but I've kind of changed my mind a wee bit, you know. I also think as well, when the deal was done, the Hamilton chairman, Ronnie McDonald, he was very complimentary about how Rangers had gone about their business with Hamilton, you know, compared to some of the absolute garbage we've read in the press in the last few weeks, you know, especially for ex-Rangers players. Ronnie McDonald, that kind of softened the blow a wee bit for me when McDonald came out and said what he said. You know, as I said, he was very complimentary, so I wasn't too fussed. I do think 600,000 for the boy's going to turn out to be an absolute steal. I think to get a boy of that quality for down south, as Ox has just said there, I think you'd pay much more than 600 grand, Bridge, you know, to get a boy of that quality.
Well, just for instance, when we were the reason I'm saying, I'll just give you one example. Recent, right? We at Rangers here, as we know, we thought we could go and get a number of players in the Scotland area, and one of them we thought we would like to get was a boy Cummings, and that was a no. We just couldn't get it. They wanted a Foster because we ended up we fell out with Hibs because we tried to get.
We never made a bid for Cummings, mate.
No. I never said we did. What I'm saying is, when we went to go and get the wee boy Sean. Sean Allen, Scott Allen. It was a big to-do and a massive to-do about it, and a big fallout. So whatever's happened, but the boy Cummins was valued somewhere in the region of £1 million, and I don't know what the Warburton got him for, possibly 600,000 to £1 million off Hibs. I would imagine it would be that. But we're going to end up taking him up here in all probability for 600,000. I think it's a bloody good deal. If we could have got him when he was with Hibs for 600,000, I wouldn't have a problem either, truth be told. I just don't want to give them money whenever.
The same problem is they're going to, some of these clubs are ending up going to look at Hearts. They've cut off their nose to spite their face, Fox, isn't they?
The Jamie Walker thing.
I love that. I love them to do that. What we need in Scotland is we need an impasse somewhere along. I never to turn and say, hey, look, guys, what we're doing is we're ruining the Scottish football economy by doing these things that we're doing. And if we're looking for big money down in England, fine. Let's everybody try and get our players down to England and get the big money for it. But there are the two big clubs up here who are willing to, shall we say, soak up and be able to pay a reasonable money. £300,000 or whatever it was for that boy Jamie Walker is just nonsense, isn't it?
Do you not think, Bridge, that
it's a contract situation, isn't it? It's a contract.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, but all I'm meaning is that last year, 7 months ago or whatever it was, they were trying to sell Jamie Walker to us through the papers, may I say, through the press, for £1 million. And some of the pundits were turning and saying basically saying to Rangers, just go and give them the £1 million and be done with it. And 6 months later, they end up punting the boy down the road there for £300,000, which I think Rangers have put an offer on the table for him for £350,000. It was just crazy. It's just crazy. So
they're going to end up cutting off their nose to spite their face, Fox, the other clubs.
But you need to remember, you're quoting paper talk all the time. I don't know what the original deal was to get Docherty at first talks. Maybe we put in a bid, we valued him at 350,000. Hamilton valued him more. So the two clubs have worked behind the scenes, thrashed out a deal that's a good deal for both of them. People are happy with that, mate. The other figures you read in the paper, I don't take any heed of any of that, mate. Dales?
Rudy Bear?
Well, as far as the Jamie Walker thing goes, surely Anne Budge, as a businesswoman, must have sat down after that boy had gone to, boys, they'd come to an agreement with Wigan, and she must have sat with Craig Levine and said, we've messed up here. Because I think that the first Rangers went in with a £500,000 bid or something at one point. Whatever it was, they lost out in it. And it was idiotic. That's what it was. It was absolutely idiotic for anybody to run a football club along the lines. But as Bridge says, it's football. It's killing itself up here with stupidity, Well, Jamie Walker wasn't worth anywhere near $1 million. I'd never have paid £1 million for Jamie Walker, As I say, 600,000 for young Greg Docherty, I think is going to turn out to be an absolute steal. I think we'll see that in the next couple of seasons. I think he'll go from strength to strength, and I'm absolutely delighted with him, But to overprice players up here and then sell them cheaply down in England is idiotic, in my opinion. If that money can be kept in Scotland, if these good young Scottish players can be kept in Scotland, then they should be. But for some reason, there's some kind of idiotic mentality up here, dealing with Rangers is, I don't know.
Rudy, that's that last thing you said there is absolutely what I feel. I feel there's been a whole tranche of teams that if they could, they wouldn't deal with Rangers. They wouldn't deal with them. If they could go to a market and like Jamie Walker down south, they probably thought they would get 600,000 for him there. Never got it. But they went to that market. They never went to Rangers. Never came back to Rangers and says, right, give us 600,000.
I'll tell you what, they could have got £2 million for Jamie Walker if he'd have been burning the park up between the summer and blooming Christmas. He never kicked the ball.
Absolutely. All I just the way I see it.
And his Hearts form since they sort of put him out the team and they moved on, has it improved or?
They've
not conceded a goal for
7 games. 6 or 7 games.
Anyway, we'll talk about Greg Docherty. Bridgeman, you let your paranoia with other clubs go, mate.
No.
Greg Docherty, and can we thank Hamilton for the way they've conducted the business?
Absolutely.
For being complimentary. Ibrox Loyal.
Definitely, mate. I think I said last week on the show as well that if we put the right bid into Hamilton, they'll not be too hard to deal with, mate, because they're a respectable club, mate. They're built on the fact that they can bring in so many young players and bring them through their youth academies and they get a chance in the first team. As soon as they feel that they're ready and there's decent money for them, they'll move them on. That's the way Hamilton make their money. It's a good thing that their youth academy does. We've seen it with the likes of that McCarthy and McCarthy.
They sold somebody else today.
They did, mate. They sold another midfielder to Aberdeen who was meant to be going down to Preston, but Aberdeen obviously came in at the last minute and stole him for under Preston's nose. But I'm saying, mate,
he's a centre half. Is that
Michael Devlin?
Michael Devlin, yeah. He's injured. The bottom is an injured player.
But as I say, mate, Hamilton.
That's all we need. We're signing a Mickey Devlin.
They do it the right way, mate. Like 2 or 3 players every couple of years, mate. They either sell them to some other Scottish clubs or they move them off down south and they get selling fees and whatever else. They do it the right way. So fair play to the Hamilton directors and that for coming out and being very complimentary for a change. We don't get that for many Scottish teams, so fair play to Hamilton.
Fox, we look at Greg Docherty and do you think it's we're buying on his midfield players, I'm thinking, but lo and behold the club with real bad injuries in there. Ryan Jack looks as if he's going to be out the season. Graham Doran's pretty much the same. Young McCrory a bit more positive. It could be any time in the next couple of weeks he could be back, but we ended up for having a glutton to being quite short if we hadn't purchased some players or Gosson and Lona.
I'd agree with that, mate. I think the boy Greg Docherty's been brought in for probably what he could do now, but probably they've been looking at the boy and it's for the future, as the boy stated himself in his interview, mate. He plans to be at Ibrox for a wee while and learn as much as he can. I've no doubt that with the good coaches we have got, he will improve as a player. and I think he could be a good asset for us in the future, mate.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. I'm liking the boy. I'm liking what I hear. I like what I see. Potentially a Scottish internationalist, which is great. And maybe for some people, if we start getting 3, 4, 5, 6 players, when we become the premier club in the country again, our rightful position, Rudy Bear.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of
don't give Bridge up virus.
There's a lot of Rangers supporters don't really care about the national side, but I think that's more down to what's happened in the last sort of 5 or 6 years. You know, and then you've got the the Kilty mob sort of booing Rangers fans and Lee Wallace and all this carry on. Moronic, but hey ho. The boy should be thinking about his future. He should be thinking about, if he's wanting a Scottish call up then with the national team. This is the place for him to be, isn't it? He'll not get that at Hamilton. There's very little chance of him getting that at Hamilton. But as he says, he's come to the right place. He knows where he wants to be. He knows he's done the right thing, and it's and there's more power at his elbow. If he can put in some really good displays with that blue jersey on, I don't doubt for a minute whoever the next Scottish manager happens to be will be looking about for the best young Scottish players. There's some of the Scotland national side coming to the end of their careers, and and obviously you've got to look to the future, and it's the young Scottish players who've got to be looking at it, and he's going to be one of them now that he's at Rangers. So there's a possibility. It's a possibility that he will get an opportunity.
Who's doing the whistling? Oh, Big Al.
Sorry, boys. I'll go and mute in a second. I'll make a wee. Hello, budgies.
All right, I'll carry on.
Cockatoos. Sorry, boys.
What's on your mind?
Laura Keats. I'm just sitting out here on my patio, man. I'm taking in a bit of nature, so. It's 40 hours of Friday, gentlemen, I believe, eh?
Yes, mate, yes.
Excellent. I think the young boy Doherty is our most important signing because he is our only signing that we laid out money on. Other guys could leave us at the end of the season, whether they're good, bad or indifferent. So I think it's very, very important that we put in some good money, got a good young guy, comes across really well. But I've seen him. I've had a look at a couple of his things on YouTube. He looks promising. Looks very promising, in fact. And I think he should start tomorrow, get the ball rolling. I don't think we should hold back on him because he is. These types of players are the future of the club. So I'm really, really happy the young boy's in.
I wouldn't disagree if he starts or no, but I personally think he'd go on the bench on Sunday. Well, tomorrow for you, yeah.
But why would you put him on the bench? I don't see.
Why would I put him on the bench? Well, for a simple reason, he's had one training session. And there's a lot of things that every professional team works at, where you go, who picks who, and it doesn't just come. It doesn't just come in one training session. So I would put him on the bench, give him another. Then we play Fraserburgh on Wednesday. Maybe give him more game time, and then we'll get the Hibs game. And if he's shown form, he might start then, and that gives him like 10 days. That's a personal opinion. Bridgman, you might see it different.
I'll go on mute, guys.
Aye, we'll come to you. We'll give you a shout. Bridgman, how do you see it?
As far as the boys concerned, I agree with you. I think he'll probably be on the bench to start with, and they'll ease him in gently. Obviously, it'll based on how the game goes. They may have to put him in a wee bit quicker than let's say 60 minutes. They may bring him in at half time or something. Obviously, whenever they put him in, even if they put him in for the start, I would just wish him all the best and hope he manages to sort of replicate the form he had with Hamilton and find his wee niche in among our good players, the quality players that we've got there. And if he can find his place there and do the things, and people, the admiration for him within the team and the squad will gain and gain and gain. As soon as he does something great, the guys will be in give him the ball all the time, like I'm doing great stuff, That's a natural way football.
And obviously Jordan Rossiter will be injured, Fox, because he put a tackle in that.
As it goes for Greg Docherty, mate, we talk about people having to earn the position. The two guys that played Wednesday night, who does he knock out, mate? Jason Holt was some people's man of the match. The boy Goss was highly rated, mate. So you've got to knock them out of that position. And if we're serious about things like if you play well, you get kept in the team, you can't just throw people straight back out again, mate, for me.
And you think you'll be on the bench as well?
I think you'll be lucky to be on the bench, mate.
I think you'll be on the bench, mate.
Well, just remember this. So I was just going to say, just remember this team, the bottom of the league, isn't they? 3 points adrift. Yes. So the manager might turn around and say, well, this is one of the lighter teams in the league.
Oh, but they're anything but lighter.
Of course, it might make that error, you know. It might make that error.
I think that's how we've made the errors, aye.
I made that error before. Pedro.
Play your best team at all times.
Won the game, man. 3 points against Ross County is important as 3 points against anybody else. It's only the games that are bigger because of the rivalry. Ibrox Loyal, where would you play him?
I would give him about 25 to 30 minutes, mate, in the Ross County game. Maybe in midweek against Fraserburgh, mate, I would maybe start him. Game, I would imagine he could play the biggest majority of the 90 minutes in that game, and that means that he's fresh for coming into the Hibs game. And whether he starts for that, because when you think about it, we played on Wednesday night there, we played on Sunday, then played on Wednesday again, so you could maybe see a few changes in the midfield. I think that'd be quite possible to say. And then after the Fraserburgh game, we look at it and say whether he's going to start, if he's done well enough to start in the Hibs game, or you go back to the midfield that we started with against Aberdeen, mate. I think that's pretty possible.
Rudy Bear?
I think it'd be harsh if you took the position away, if you took the jersey off Goss and Holt just now. I thought the two of them, especially with Jason Holt, he was absolutely brilliant. So he was the other night there. And Sean Goss, he had a cracking game as well, you know. So I think I don't think it'd be fair to the boys, but I don't think we've paid $600,000 for a player to leave him out the squad either, though. You know, I think he'll be on the bench at the weekend. And then, like Ibrox says, come for Wednesday night against Fraserburgh, I think he'll get a run out then. You know, he maybe even come on, you know, maybe 20 minutes or so, depending how the game's gone at the weekend, obviously. Because it's going to be hard. They're a big, strong team, Ross County. You know, they haven't been playing well recently, but they're not going to make it easy. That's for sure. In that wee tight park up at Digmall.
And the manager will like to turn us though.
Absolutely, you know that, because he did a bit of whining the last time we played them, didn't he? Right. So for me, Docherty's got to be on the bench on Sunday, at least on the bench. Get him into the first team squad, you know, as quickly as possible for me, and then give him a good run out. You know, maybe even start with him against Fraserburgh a few days later. I think that would be the best way to go. And then, well, the Hibs game, you know, you need to sit down and think about that, because that's not going to be easy.
It's getting your best players for that one. Then there's competition for places. How do you see him winding up on Sunday, Big Ulster?
Not just like the rest of the boys, I think he'll be on the bench. He knows himself, he's already stated in his interview, he knows that the team's playing very, very well at the minute, you know, and he knows that he has to bide his time, and he's more than willing to do that. He's not going in blind. He's obviously talked to Mr. Murray and others at the club, and he knows what his role is. So he is a prospect, and he's someone who could, you know, in training, if he does really well and comes on these games and impresses, he could get his first team place. But I think we have to, you know, the players against Aberdeen were very, very good in that position. So I think it would really be fair to start with him again. Yep.
Big Al, are you back with us, mate?
Yeah, I'm back with you. So I have to disagree totally with the fiveys. He's a very conservative in your opinion of the young guy. I believe Goss has only played 7 competitive games in his whole career. You look at the young guy, I think he had 96 caps for Hamilton. He's a seasoned professional in this league. He knows what is expected of him. I think he could handle that, no problem. I'd drop Goss, I'd leave Holt in. And a couple of factors why I'd play him before Goss. One thing, he's your player. Second thing, as Rudy stated, we spent $600,000. In the bigger scheme of things in the football world, $600,000 is not a lot of dough, but it's a lot of dough for us. He's a first team player as far as I'm concerned, and I'd put him in.
Get your argument, Al. It's a valid argument. The other thing I wouldn't say, we don't know about Gossie's loan deal. You don't know if Gossie's got to play. That's what you never know with these deals.
Well, that's not a good loan deal then.
Yeah, but that happens a lot. That happens a lot.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
can I just add one other little point just before I'll go back and mute?
Yeah,
I did pick up in his interview. He spoke to Mark Allen about the 5-year plan, which I think we're seeing the fruits of that now. Mark Allen, this continental style. So whether Mr. Murty is any good or he isn't any good, he'll be gone if he's no good. If he's good, he'll stay in position until he starts to fail, and then we'll bring somebody else in with a smooth transition. So that bodes well for the future.
You liking it?
I think I did say to you previously, maybe a month or two ago. I think Ibrox actually raised that thing. It's a new thing in Scottish football, but it's not a new thing in football in general. It's been happening for 20, 30 years in other places. So I think it's the way forward. Yeah, I definitely think it's the way forward. That smooth transition.
And you come, Bridge?
I was just going to say that. Remember, of course, the young lad. He hasn't actually played. He's not done for any full training, to my knowledge, since he got his wee knock, which was maybe 3 or 4 weeks. So I think he mentioned in his interview he was in the squad for, let's say, tomorrow night's game or whenever that was, last night's game. And he was in the squad for that. And if the deal hadn't been going through, he possibly could have been playing. And I don't know how true that is, but I think that's what he said, something along those lines. But it's different. He's a big fish in the Hamilton pool, you know. When he's going to play in the Rangers, to put on the Rangers jersey, as we know, that big fish thing sort of fades away. So he's got to be given the chance to shine and get that big fish attitude back onto his shoulders again, playing for the Rangers. So I would have expected, given the performances of the other night and most of the players that played, I would have expected the boys in a queue to get a first team place. I don't see him walking into the place. I see him in there and he'll do the business. And once he shows he can do it on the pitch, on the training pitch, he'll be substitute until he shows it. So that's my opinion.
What about the fact that Jordan Rossiter's back training Fox? Is that good news as well? And obviously crunching into tackles for the sound of it.
If he's over all his injuries, mate, that he's been plagued with since he came to us, I think there's a player in there as well. Another young man that's only about 20 years old. As I say, had a torrid time already. I think he would be a welcome addition back into the first team pool as well, mate.
Yourself, Ibrox, Jordan Rossiter, I think you spoke quite positive of him in the past.
He's a very strong tackler in the midfield. Is obviously Greg Docherty is obviously fun at the day. I think Greg Docherty says it was a welcome to Rangers, but we all know that the games. I think it says like 3 full games are 3 enough. Decent games for Rossiter. The Dunfermline game, I think he was possibly close to getting man of the match in that game. If I'm not right, I'm sure Bridge was speaking pretty positively about him that night as well. In a few other games. So if he's over that serious injury, whatever it is, I think, don't know if it's something to do with his back or the muscles in his back or whatever, but if that's came to fruition now and he's over that, then as Fox says, he's another fantastic player to have, especially now that young McCrory could be out for another good couple of weeks. It could be a possibility if he's fit enough early the weeks to maybe push for a place, but as I say, we'll need to wait and see, mate. It's one of the ones.
Rudy Bear, how quickly football changes. People were talking about Danny Wilson a couple of weeks ago. Bit of form. Now had his medical in Colorado, and it looks as if he's leaving the club.
Aye, yeah. All seemed to happen really quickly, didn't it? You know. And as I said last night, I'm a wee bit disappointed because he seemed to be coming on to a game, you know. But, I mean, his contract was up in the summer anyway, you know, and his wife's American. I kind of grudge him, really, you know. Maybe his wife wants to get back to America, like, you know, so... no, I mean...
get that, mate. You've only got one football team. You can always get a new wife.
Well, aye.
Here.
I never said that, just in case she listens later, you know.
Whisper it, Rudy. You'll feel better.
You know, she'll hear me. No, but I don't think you can kind of grudge him, really, you know. But it's like I said to my mate today, look, see if he doesn't want to be here, There's no use trying to talk about your style here, you know. Onwards and upwards, we just look about to see if we can find something else, you know what I mean? We've still got Cardoso there. Alves is still there till the end of the window. Don't know what's going to happen with Alves, no sure. You know, broke Russell Martin, and Bates for me has been a revelation this season. Bates, you know, I mean, last season, a few of his outings, and even maybe the beginning of this season as well, he kind of looked a wee bit like Bambi on ice for me sometimes, you know.
The Ginger Maldini.
Especially the
was
first.
that you nicknamed him that, Ulster?
No, but I'm happy to go with it.
Was that no Dougie the Bear?
No, Dougie the Bear's Strawberry Blonde, as you well know, Bridge.
Strawberry Blonde, I know that. I know that.
Aye.
African Sunset.
Hawaiian
Sunset.
Can I just make a wee quick point on Rossa? I'm absolutely delighted that boy's back in training. See when we brought him up for Liverpool, I spoke to a couple of Liverpool supporters that I came across, and I had a wee chat to them about him, and they said what a player you've got there. Like, you know, that boy's got to be something really, really special. They couldn't believe that we'd managed to get him, and I'm delighted because any time I've seen him, he's looked really, really good to me. He covers the ground really quickly, doesn't shirk at tackles or anything, you know. He looks like a really good player, so I'm delighted to see him back. I'd like to see him. I think we're having Dorrans and Jack. Looks like Jack's out for the rest of the season. Dorrans is probably up to about April or something, maybe I read.
It's good as, mate. Pretty much the same, innit, you know.
So if we get Rossiter back and fit again, that's just a really good addition to the first team squad for me, you know.
Can I say that, Brian Jack, mate? What an unlucky season he's had, didn't he? Sending halves galore that weren't meant. Bad tackle on him, gets and then gets a badge in his.
I watched the tackle again last night. You know, I mean, 2 or 3 times. It was an absolutely disgraceful tackle. I mean, how that boy got away with that, I just don't understand. I really don't.
He was assaulted. The boy was assaulted.
Oh, he done him, Bridge. He done him. And I know the level of refereeing in this country is absolutely shambolic at times. But I mean, how he could have got away with that, I still don't understand it. You know.
I still don't understand a number of things. There's one tackle there last night, night before, on Morelos, with that big Considine, or whatever his name is, he ran in behind him, took the legs right off him. He halved him in 2, basically. And I don't even think he was giving a free kick for it. He should be fucking sent after people. I mean, just that these referees are just murder. They're just going to kill our team.
You know, I've always got the thought in my head, Bridge, when I'm watching Rangers playing, that nobody's getting a booking until a Rangers player gets a booking. You know, and that's how it looked again. That's how it looked again on Wednesday. You know, I mean, because there must have been 2 or 3. There should have been 2 or 3 Aberdeen players get carded, and nobody did. You know, until I think it was Shinnie got the first booking.
I don't go with that. If it's a booking in the first minute, it's a booking. Or it's it's your first tackle on that. If it's a booking, it's a booking.
Exactly,
it's the first in the last minute, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Rossiter coming back could be good news, obviously. Really feel sorry for Graham Dorrans and Ryan Jack. Bad injuries, bad tackles in 2 games. And I wish them luck in their recovery, and obviously it looks as if they'll be coming back for pre-season, Fox.
Hopefully, mate. You can't say much when you get injuries. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why we've went out and strengthened our squad, mate. It's part and parcel of the game. The injuries and suspensions happen in the regular season, and they're very soon on the men, mate. Because we'll need players like them next season, mate.
I totally agree with you, mate. And the competition for places, Dorrans could become the father figure in the midfield quite quickly now, Bridgeman.
Yeah, and I think Dorrans is the one I really feel sorry for, because he's a bit sort of later in years, shall we say, than the others. And he was going to be, to me, the star player for us. And it just hasn't happened.
The older ones know how to milk it when they have an operation.
But it's not that. Once again, it's another terrible tackle. Out of nothing, a terrible tackle. Hardly spoken. Don't even think he can get booked. Just shocking. The injury list at Rangers, there's nothing to do with our players going in for a tackle and coming off second best. It's our players not even going in for a tackle. They're getting tackled from behind and from the side, and they're getting badly injured, and the referees are not doing anything about it. That's what I see. I don't know if I'm right or not. Do you agree with that?
I agree with you 100%, but I mean, the Graham Dorrans incident, what put him out for months, was the boy went straight through the back of him. Right through the back of him. In any other game, that would have been a sending off, and the boy get away with it. It wasn't even a yellow card. The boy get away with it. It was shocking. Absolutely shocking decision. I mean, some of the tackles that we're seeing this season, I mean, I've already spoke about it over and over again, but you even go back to the Hibs game. I mean, Anthony Stokes wrapping his arms around Morelos' neck and dragging him to the ground, and Beaton gave the foul to Anthony Stokes. I mean, it's just laughable. If it would be laughable if it wasn't so serious, in Dorn's case it was, in Jack's case it was, absolutely shocking. Two of our top players put out for a huge part of the season because of inept refereeing. That's just not right.
I think the young boy McCrory was the same. I think he got...
To be fair, Rudy, the referees can't stop the tackle.
No. But it should, when it happens... Maybe
it should be the...
Sorry, mate. Maybe if the referees dealt with it properly when it does happen, though, Ox, maybe we'd see less of it. But the way
potentially.
The way it's happened this season, these players have been getting away with this. I mean, you saw it the other night against Aberdeen. There should have been several yellow cards, and there wasn't up until Shinnie got a booking. I think it was Shinnie. So the referees are they're allowing this to happen, which lets teams think. I mean, you can bet your bottom dollar on it. And Sunday when we go up to Ross County, that's going to be a rough game because they're a big team. So that's going to be the same. And when referees don't deal with these tackles the way they should be dealing with them, it's carte blanche. I mean, it's all right. You can do this to Rangers players, you'll get away with it.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Can I say something about Rossiter?
On you go on.
I never got a chance to speak about Rossiter, so I'd just like to say, welcome back, young man. I don't know how quickly he's going to be fit enough to start playing football. That might be another 2 months, maybe not, maybe to the end of the season, I don't know. But hopefully he continues the progress because he has been definitely, you mentioned it earlier, one of the unluckiest players I've ever seen at Ibrox. Really and truly. It just seems he never even got a game. He's always injured, Just terrible. So good luck to him.
I wish him all the best. And obviously, I think we'll see less and less of Nico now, Fox.
Aye, I think Nico's just biding his time to the end of the season, mate. He'll be let go. It's good that we've got a lot of different types of players in the midfield, mate. As you say, some of the tackles, I didn't think they looked that bad at the time. It's only when you see them later, especially the one with Dorrans, mate. I didn't think that looked particularly bad when I seen it. But obviously he's the one that's been out the longest. It happens in games, mate. The incident with Jack and Stevie May was out for a few weeks. That could have went either way. I can remember Ross McCrory croaking somebody in the middle of the park as well, mate. It happens for all teams. It's no all down to referees. Sometimes there's accidental clashes. Sometimes there's no. They don't look as bad,
All part of the game, gorgeous.
Aye, well, the thing, you're gorgeous, you.
That's what you said your nickname was earlier.
You did say that. Yes, you did.
I tell you,
my name was gorgeous. He says all the boys call me gorgeous.
What did they say, Bridge? You back me up here, Bridge.
All the boys called me gorgeous, he said. All the boys called me gorgeous.
You're a pair of lying gits. I said it started with a
all right, let's
a UN in the middle.
He said, my nickname was gorgeous. All the boys called me gorgeous.
Ulster, big Ulster. What did they say his nickname was?
Oh, there was gorgeous in there like that.
Yes.
There you go.
Anyway, it's over to Gorgeous for a tune.
From a guy so young to Glasgow City they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know their ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags, sing with your heart and voice, celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. Four lads had a dream, start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on, they still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. Four lads had a dream, start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong.
Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that, Fox. I like that tune, I must admit. Brilliant Bridgeman, innit? Bridge?
Sorry, guys, we're still on mute there.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Yeah, great tune. Absolutely brilliant.
Well done. Well done. Listen, we'll move on. I think Big Ulster will get some people want to ask some questions for the Facebook page. So the floor's all yours, big man.
Yeah, we'll have one here from Thomas Hunter, and he's wanting to know, ask the panel, if we had the decision right now, would we like to see a few more faces in the most of the squad at this minute, or would we rather use that money for Tav, Wes and Bates on new deals and not to get anybody else in than what we already have?
Oh, Tav, thanks for a nice, easy question. We'll go to Ibrox Loyal first, and then we'll go to Big Alan.
Thanks for coming to you with a hard question first, mate. I appreciate it. But, I'd like to get one more in, but
what position, Ibrox? What position?
It's going to have to be another striker for me, mate. Just for the sheer fact, mate, that I don't see Kenny Miller being much a player between now and the end of the season. And I know you said the other night, Ox, that we could maybe play Jimmy Murphy up there at times should we need it, but I would rather keep him out in the left wing and keep a solidity in the left side of midfield now. And then if we could, don't get me wrong, I'd still love to see Tav, Bates and Wes not being tied up in the deals, mate, but I still think, I think the way the manager spoke, or I don't want to speak next, I don't get the manager's interview coming up, but I'll keep that up, aye.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Big Al, did you hear the question there in Australia?
Yeah, I heard the question. It's about 50-50 for me. I'd tie up a few of them, but I'd also like to see more players coming in, definitely.
I'd like to see a couple. I'd like to see a couple.
You need to clear the decks, man. You're talking about Jordan Rossiter. He's done, man. Franchise done, and I don't hold it much for Dorms coming back and being a major player for our team either. So, look, 50-50 for me.
Fox, what would your ideal transfer? Well, a few days to go.
I think we've had the ideal transfer window, mate. I think we've got a lot of good balance in our team at the moment. And if we're going into the transfer market in the summer, you want to see people coming in, spend our money wisely on better quality than we've got. We've put together a good basic squad, as I say. All you can add to it now is the odd quality player.
Talking about quality, we've been joined by Cumbrian Bear. What I want to say first, I've been PM'd. Look, I'll tell you this, but please keep it to yourself. We're doing out to raise some money in the Just Giving page for Skipper. He got done for soliciting last night. We're waiting for Ibrox Loyal, so he's got a chance. Anybody who wants to contribute, can they please PM Butterbean, and Butterbean will take all contributions free, Skipper. All right, Cumbrian, how we doing?
I Skipper take my old job up. Oh, Jesus. Have they found young Loyal yet?
Just about, mate, just about.
Yeah.
Well done, lad, well done. We are the people.
You can bring me a serious point, Cumbrian.
A serious point?
Were you coming in with a serious point?
I'm always serious, Mucker. You need to get me off the ceiling first. I'm as high as a kite at the minute with the stuff that's going on. After all, after what we've been through, people forget where we were, what they done to us, I don't hold grudges, but what they done to us was ridiculous. And they forget where we were. We were down and out, and they continued to boot us. I've said it all my life. I'm 60 odd now. Rangers have shut everybody's mouth that ever took them on, including Rangers supporters. They've shut their gobs because we are the people.
Here, bro. Here.
Well said, CV.
Skipper's looking for a tune at the end of the show. Can you please play Please Release Me?
Skipper paid me to say that, by the way.
Oh dear, what a man. Did you hear the question for Facebook, Cumbrian?
What was that, mate?
I'll let Big Ulster ask it again. On you go, big man.
Yep, if you only had one option before the window closes, would you like to see more faces in, a few more faces in with the money we have, or the other option is no other bodies in, but securing Tav, Wes and Bates on new contracts?
I would take the new contracts away. The guys are playing. They've turned it on really well. Especially Tav. I'm amazed at Tav. He's really, really coming across as a bear, the boy, And he's a good player. He always was. With some rare players in the team, we just want to manage right. It's as simple as that. The manager makes it, boys. We've seen it time and time again, especially with Rangers. And there we are. Look where we are, boys. We're no far off away challenging them now. They're nothing. They're no that. They're nothing. They're no world beaters. Imagine going in and coming out into Europe and coming out with that record. I wouldn't be able to walk down the street. I really wouldn't. Imagine sixes and sevens,
And that was a good performance. He's Rudy Bear.
I think we've had a really good window so far. The rumour is that there's still maybe another player or two to come in, but I think it's imperative that we tie the likes of Tav and Wes and Bates up. And I never thought I'd say this, but Josh Windass as well. I heard a wee rumour that Windass and Bates, they're talking to them now about the new contracts, extensions and stuff, and it's gone fairly well apparently. Which is a good thing, I think, because I think it's like you were saying there, it's down to the coaching that these boys were getting, It seems to be, they seem to be getting coached right now. Tav's been a revelation in the last few games for me. You know, if we're making blunders, you know, sort of looked at some of these blunders earlier in the season, a big end of last season and stuff like that, to this season, you know, in the last few games, he's been brilliant. I mean, he was amazing the other night, you know. So, no, I think it's important that we tie these boys up in the longer contracts, you know.
All right, Big Ulster, you got another question for us?
Oh, can I answer that one?
No, you can go first the next time.
Okay, pal.
No, right, sorry, Pritch, I forgot about you.
No problem.
There you go, Big Ulster. Next one.
No, but
what do you go, Brad? Give us your answer, mate.
I was going to agree with Rudy. I would go for the tie the guys up and get them secured, because we're going to have a real chance. If there's any chance at all winning the title, we need the best players there.
You know, I would always be conscious. I would, obviously, if you're tying them up, you might be getting clauses in for moving on, because you don't know if people come in with big bucks in the summer. You know, everybody's got a price, so it makes sense if you can get.
I mean,
there's up to you.
The thing is, so
if it does happen, you know.
There's already been interest shown in Windass, isn't there? You know, and I think Sunderland were looking at Bates as well. You know that kind of thing. So that's a good point. You know,
David Bates has done nothing to deserve going to Sunderland, has he?
Well, whether he has or no, you know, they're still showing interest. They've showed a wee bit of interest in the boy. You don't know who else is looking. You know, championships clubs are awash with money as well. You know,
you're right.
So for me, it's a good point you can make.
Next question, Ulster.
Yeah, just the last one. Andrew Faithy, he's looking to know from the panel what's their thoughts on both Halliday and Kenny Miller, and what contribution do we think they're going to give it the second half of the season?
Can I take that one first, if that's all right with everybody?
I thought you'd be itching to get this one.
Yeah, I wish Andy Halliday all the best. Ibrox?
Yeah, I think Andy Halliday will be a very important squad player, mate, for the second half of the season. He'll be one of the ones that can play for me, the only role he can play in the midfield is going to be the left-hand side of the midfield, mate. As a left central midfielder, no as a left-sided player, if you know what I mean. But a left winger, no like a Murphy role, but one in for Murphy. So, Kenny Miller, thanks for everything you did for the club, mate. But time to move on.
Fox?
Kenny Miller, mate, I think this will be the end of him this season. He's had a long and distinguished career, but time moves on. Mate.
A lot of employers, yes.
As for what you're asking there about, sorry, I forgot the question, to be honest with you.
It was Andy Halliday and Kenny Miller. Where do we see them?
Well, Andy Halliday's fate's in his own hands, mate. If he improves, he stays. If he remains at the level that we've seen him in previous times at the clubs, mate, I think other players will bypass him. And I'll not be for lack of trying for Andy, but I think we've got better prospects at the club now.
Cumbrian Bear?
I like Andy. I would keep Andy mainly because he is a Rangers man. There's no use saying there, isn't he? He's a Rangers supporter. And we need as many of them about the club as we can get. I agree with Fox about Kenny, unfortunately. Time waits for no man, and Kenny, you can see Kenny's just about all in, you know. But just to keep that going, I heard the day that we were still interested in this young boy. Is it Ali Crawford for Hamilton? Has MD heard
a pre-contract?
Has MD
yeah,
heard?
Cumbrian, I heard that, CB. There was I heard a snippet yesterday. I think it was. I'm sure it was on one of the either media, or Rangers media, follow. That while they were talking to the boys about Craig Docherty, Ali Crawford's name was mentioned. So maybe they're after him for a pre-contract, you know.
Mm-hmm. So I think it makes sense. Mr. Murty's talking at the minute. He's saying, "Oh, I'm not finished yet. You keep your eye on us. We're on the way back. There's no doubt about it."
If you're happy, I'm
that's
happy.
The main thing. Anything we've got, it's no good enough to know. It's your job and the management's job to train them to be better. That's what trainers do. They train you to be better, not to stay the same. To improve every single day in your career. That's what you've got to do at football. to succeed.
I'd try that with Ibrox Loyal, mate, but it's been difficult, but he's getting there.
Look at Skipper. He started in Blackstreet and look where he ended up.
Blackstreet, aye.
He ended up Blackstreet. That's one for the kids, that one.
Oh, I see him. He'll never live it down.
What about yourself, Rudy? How do you see Andy and Kenny?
Like most of the guys on here, I think probably seen the last of Kenny. I can't imagine Kenny getting in ahead of Morelos, Cummins and Windass, you know. Younger players, more ambitious and, you know, better legs, really, you know. I don't think, apart from the Hearts game at Murrayfield, I don't think Kenny's really done anything this season, you know, to warrant getting a place anyway ahead of any of the boys, you know. As far as Andy Halliday goes, I really want Andy Halliday to succeed at Rangers. He's a bear, you know, he's one of us. He stood in these stands and watched growing up like the rest of us have. I want him to succeed. But when you look at the midfield, the amount of midfielders that we've got now, I mean, all right, we've got a few long-term injuries, but when they all come back, I'm not so sure Andy would be getting a start in the team, you know. But then maybe he'll kick on. Maybe with better coaching. We seem to have better coaching at the club now. Possibility is maybe he's been away for his stint in Azerbaijan. Apparently, didn't
like shape as well.
Aye, well, possibly if you play him like.
Before.
Well, like Ibrox was saying, if you play him in his proper position in the left of midfield, maybe you'll see a different player, you know, because he was played out of position a lot. So there's a possibility you'll see him at his best if he's played in his proper position. I'd like to see him succeed. I think he would make a good squad player. I'm not so sure about the starting 11 though.
It'd be interesting to see how it pans out, Bridger.
Yeah, I think so. I have to say that if it was me, I wouldn't think twice about keeping Andy Halliday till at least the end of the season, till his contract's out, and most assuredly the same with Kenny Miller. I don't think they're people that you can just throw aside. I think they've still got quite a bit to offer if we're interested, simply because of the type of injuries that we've sustained in the squad. So these guys could still play football, as we saw Andy Halliday come on. And he was thought good enough to play in our team, so he's came on and he's done it. And if he does want to get, obviously he's got a fitness thing because he's not played that much. But if he can get himself back into good fitness again, I don't see why he can't get a game in our team.
A good reception coming on as well, Bridge.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, they like him, and it'll be the same with Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller's probably well quoted. However, we know that there's an age thing with Kenny. But I wouldn't. I'd keep them until the end of the season.
All right, Ulster. Is that all right?
Yeah, I think that's the boys' questions answered. All right.
All right. It's interesting, Fox, and I'll go to you first before we that we're starting to like be even more players. I think we've got to maybe look to move a couple out there. Do you think Mr. Murty will give you any hints in his interview, Fox?
He may do, mate. I don't know. I think most Rangers supporters would be happy with the transfer window. If there's another one to come in, mate, that's just a bonus. Before Christmas, I think we were on debating, although the board had said that there would be money for transfers, I don't think a lot of us actually believed we'd bring in the amount of players that we've done. They've wheeled and dealed very, very well. And anything that comes in now is just a bonus, mate, because we will get rid of the ones that aren't making the grade at Ibrox now, and that's just the way of football clubs, whether they're the supporters of the clubs or people from foreign countries, mate. If there's better players at the club, you have to move on.
Well, let's see if Mr. Murty gives us any hints if there's any movement in the transfer market. If you don't mind, everybody go and mute, and we'll hear from your manager, Mr. Graham Murty.
Graham, another signing in last night. How pleased are you to get that one over the line?
I'm very pleased. I said all the way through that we were very transparent in what we were trying to do. We made an offer.
and then we worked closely with Hamilton to make sure that offer was acceptable. We got to a level that they were happy with, and we're happy to bring a young man in that's very humble, very modest, but desperately hungry to do well. I think he enjoyed his first training session today. Turning to the training ground here, it was a special moment for him, and it's up to us to make sure we give him the proper stage and the proper support to go and realise his potential.
What is his potential? What can he add to this Rangers side?
He adds a bit of physicality, he adds legs, he adds the ability to get box to box. He's technically proficient, he's got a range of passing, and typically, or in the past, outstanding Rangers midfield players have been internationals. Ryan Jack is an international, and that's his challenge. His challenge is to be an international player whilst being at Rangers, and if he does that, then he'll be on the path to fulfilling some of his potential. But we're just going to try and give him a stage to get as far as he possibly can in the game, and I'm sure that, as you've seen from him talking today, he's going to do everything he possibly can to give himself the best chance.
That's 5 signings you've made in this window. Any more business expected in or out? Is there an update on Danny Wilson? I
would expect business to carry on. Our director of football has got the world's hottest phone right now, and I would expect there to be more business. As to Danny has options until those options are concluded, and we have a definitive answer for you. That will stay in-house until we're decided either way. So we will let you know when that happens, but we have options, and the good thing for me is that people are looking at our players with hungry eyes, which is good for us because it means that we have the right type of player, the right quality of player that's drawing attention from people around the world.
Dave King is here today at the training ground. Should we read anything into that? Are you having a meeting with him?
I sat with him at the Burns dinner yesterday. A very, very, very good evening. He's been really supportive. I have to thank him for his backing of us in the transfer window, and he's been hands-on. He's been very upfront, very transparent with myself, very open. It's been great to actually sit down and talk to him about his aspirations for the club and where he thinks we are in our path. But other than that, this is just the business of a top-class football club getting himself ready for a big second half of the season.
In terms of Greg, you spoke about how well he's done to get this opportunity, but is it fair to say now that this is where the hard work starts in order to make him himself into a successful, sort of long-lasting Rangers player?
I would suggest that if you know anything about the young man, his work ethic and his mentality would be such that he would take this as a spur to try and get to greater heights, and that's all it is. We're trying to provide a stage for our players to realise potential, to go and exceed what they've done previously, and we're trying to create a culture where we come in every day and try and make each other better. If we do that in training, if we challenge each other in training, if we have that level of competition in training, it's going to be better for the players in their long-term development, and obviously it's going to be good for the club because we're going to have a core of players at the very, very top of their game, striving to get into our first team and do well for the club. If we manage to get that on a daily basis, then we can have a fantastic second half of the season.
I think if you look at some of his stats, he leads a lot of stats in terms of chances created and goals scored from midfield and things like that. I mean, do you expect, given the platform that Rangers can give him, that will help him take him to these sort of higher heights?
That's the challenge for myself, that's the aim for the staff, to make sure that we take his potential and nurture it and help it grow and get him to the top level in this country. And as I said, if he does that, then he's an international footballer in the making. But once again, it's not fair for us to put limits on him. It's our task to take all constraints off him, to allow him to flourish, not to place any added pressure upon the young man. He's got enough pressure from his family, I would suggest, because they're all Rangers fans. But just to say to him, we trust in you, we believe in you, you're here for the long term, let's see how far we can all go together. And if we do that, then he's a young man with bags of potential, as I've said, but he's also a young man with that drive that matches the club's.
Is this the model that the club's got to look at in terms of recruitment going forward? It's probably fair to say the last few years that missed out on some good Scottish players coming through, but you've obviously got yourselves somebody here who's got a lot growing to do. If you can get more guys like that coming through the door, then it strengthens you and perhaps weakens your opponents as well.
I think every single player we bring in, whatever age, whatever stage they're at, can improve, can get better. If you're not improving, I fully believe that you go backwards every day. So we have to come in with a mindset that we're going to improve. And as to our recruitment, we want to get good players in. We've identified certain criteria in terms of technical and tactical proficiency, physical proficiency, and the mentality and the desire to come and play at Ibrox in big games like we had on Wednesday night. if someone ticks all of those boxes and can still improve, then obviously that strengthens the football club. And if he comes from one of our rivals, that's just the nature of the game. If not, we're still looking at the global market to make sure that we do good business and protect the future of the football club, because as well as we want to bring players in, we have to make sure we are diligent and prudent in our monetary terms and safeguard what is a fantastic club, but ensure that we continue on this path towards getting back to where we want to be.
I believe Greg said that he'd quite like to emulate what Barry Ferguson did here. Do you see the comparisons there?
I do. I haven't played with Barry and seen his attributes up close. There are certain parallels, but it's only natural for a young man to look at one of his idols and want to go and match him. What I observed last night, sitting next to a table of Rangers legends, was people that I want to be worthy of emulating. I want to look at those guys and not just chase them forever. I want this team and these players to be capable of standing up there alongside them for what they've done for the football club. And if we continue to improve, our daily stuff, we can get to a better place than we're currently in, and we can still strive to chase those guys because they are the benchmark. We have to be striving to be worthy of those guys.
Is Greg likely to be involved on Sunday, or is that too soon for him?
Depends how he trains. He got a very, very hefty welcome to Rangers from Jordan Rossiter in training earlier. He's looked sharp, he's looked bright, training's at a really, really good level. But we'll assess that further towards the game, and we'll make sure that if he is appropriately fit and ready to go, then we give him a chance. But we've got to be respectful to the rest of the group that have been here, because Wednesday was good. We just have to make sure that we build on what we've done so far, and bringing people like Greg in can hopefully help us do that.
You had an ankle knock last week with Watkins. Is that something?
It looked all right after that tackle with Jordan, I've got to say. He's all right. He said he's a little bit off in his own mind because he hasn't trained, but we're fully aware of that. This is not a Sunday must-play thing. This is a guy we want here for the long term, that we want to build and work towards ensuring he has a fantastic future at the club.
Can we ask you about Ross County? Yes, we play on Sunday, bottom of the league, but what kind of game are you expecting from them?
Well, when they came to Ibrox, Owen set his team up fantastically well, and they performed at a really high standard, so we can't take anything for granted. We're not going to look at relative position. We're going to look at them on their merits and pay them the respect that they are due, because we know that any team in this league can cause us problems if we don't hit the levels that we're capable of. I've said to the players that every single team we play against now has to see the team that played against Celtic, the team that played against Aberdeen on Wednesday, and actually I think we can improve from that. So the minimum standard of our performance, our intensity, our level is Wednesday. We have to ensure that we do that again on Sunday to give ourselves the best chance of having a positive result.
How did Ross McCrory get on at the specialist?
He's had a scan. Thankfully, we think, and the specialist thinks, that it's just a matter of time. He doesn't need surgery. He won't need an injection. It's just a question of being patient with it and waiting until any inflammation and any pain symptoms go away. It's quite difficult actually putting the reins on a 19-year-old that's been playing for Rangers first team. You tell him you have to rest. It's quite frustrating for the guy, but we have to make sure we safeguard his long-term future at the football club, and he understands that, as painful as it is at the moment for him to miss out.
And Ryan Jack, has some reports he's out for the season?
Ryan will be having surgery on his knee. It didn't present that way initially, but he'll be having surgery and he will be out for an extended period. I think it's premature to say he'll be out for the season, but we will make sure that we get the prognosis after his surgery, and we're mindful of his once again his long-term recovery as well.
I know you said there was no deal with Danny at the moment. Is he been having a medical, or is he away at the moment?
Danny's going to be concluding that presently. As to that, I won't have anything to say until it's done. I'm not trying to be disingenuous. I'm just trying to be respectful to all parties and make sure that we don't give you any false information. When we have that information, it will be there for you.
Thanks for that, folks. We all back?
Yeah.
No. Has he grown into the job, Ibrox Loyal?
I think he is, mate. It's got to be took step by step, mate. You can't just rush in. I think he's got the players in that he's wanted. He's been pretty sure with that when he's been talking about how he's been dealing with Mark Allen and other people to get the right players in with right Rangers mentality to be able to come to Ibrox and win games and not be a shrinking violet at Ibrox and things. And he speaks very well, he coaches very well. I've seen that up close as well. At obviously the actual Rangers games and the youth games, he's done it there as well. So I think he's in now at the end of this season, mate. I think we spoke about last night or the night before. If he can get to the back end of the Scottish Cup, maybe even win that, and finishing if we can't win the league, a very close second to the unmentionables with our side of the city, and then he's every chance of getting a job on a full-time basis. You couldn't take it away from the guy because he's got the attributes and we're all seeing it now. So,
how about yourself, Bridge?
I can't disagree with anything Loyal was saying there. I think he's becoming a bit more statesman-like. I think he's starting to, shall we say, settle into the chair a bit, and he always appears to support the players, and it's all about the players, the team, the squad, and so on and so forth, and the club, and that I like. So that's what I mean by I think he could settle himself in there. Obviously, he's got coaching ability, and obviously he's managed to bring some of the players that we've had who didn't seem to be doing it very well in the past few months into the area where they can do it well. And he's added, through this transfer window, he's added some smashing-looking players, and we're starting to look quite a good squad. So I think he's doing very well. I think he's looking great, sounding great, and his on-field results, well, obviously, we need to keep it going. I'm not under no illusions. We can't just go out next week and get beaten and think everything's all right. It's just not going to happen like that. But if we can get it started on a run, you'll start to see the confidence ooze and the momentum build. The great stuff. I'd like to hear him then as well.
Yes. If you cast your mind back to that interview he gave, when I actually thought he was going to greet. I can't remember the game or anything like that. He gave an interview and he looked as though he was going to. I couldn't put two words together. And listening to that, you know, there's something behind that. Sir Walter's there or something, you know. He's been well led. Jimmy McNick's there as well. You know, I think we're in a good place. And it's all positive. And keep it like that. No use going back to what we've done in the past. That's finished. We've come through a hard time. I've come through a hard time in my own personal life. I'm sure many of you guys have. But we come out the other end stronger. But what doesn't kill you does make you stronger. That's a fact. And we're back. We'll give the MD a game in it.
Fox? Fox? We'll go to Rudy Bear. Rudy?
I certainly think he's grown into the job, Box. The CB just touched on the Dundee interview there. Yeah, he was a wreck after that result. A couple of pressers at the beginning as well. He looked a wee bit like a rabbit caught in the headlights. But he's now sounding much more confident and composed at the pressers. You know, he's settling into the job well. He's coaching the team well, obviously, because you can see the likes of Tav, Bates, Josh Windass all coming on, you know. Made some cracking signings. I mean, I'm really, really, really pleased with the transfer window. Apparently there may be a player or two to come in, you know. So what they've done so far between him and Mark Allen's fantastic, you know. And as Ibrox says, you know, if we can't win the league, if we finish a really close second, you know, and push them all the way to the end of the season and a really good Scottish Cup run, then maybe the end of the season, you know, the man will be deserving of a wee bit more time in the job, whether it's a year or two or something like that, you know. He'll have if that's the case, I'll have another window in the summer, you know, to improve the squad even further. And so far, between him and Mark Allen, and fair play to the both as well, they deserve a bit of credit. But they've certainly backed Graham Murray so far, and I'm looking forward to the second half of the season.
Thanks for that, Rudy. Big Ulster.
I just like everybody else saying there, maybe at the start, well, maybe a wee bit of looking at himself thinking, can I really do this? Maybe he didn't have the confidence, but he's growing in confidence. He's starting to, you can hear him in the interviews now, he's more composed and he's answering really well. And the likes of Candias, who I thought once Pedro went, to be honest, I thought he'd maybe be another one to be looking to get out, but it's proved and Mr. Murray's coaching skills, like Candias has come on to a game. He's been fantastic these last few games for us, so he's doing it on the training pitch as well. He's putting confidence into the players, a bit of belief. We've got good signings and all that, and everything's looking really good. So fair play to him. I hope he does well. I hope he's in the job for a long time, and if he is, that means he's been a success.
We're winning.
Exactly. So good luck. Good luck.
Big Al's back with us. Big Al, you any thoughts?
Yeah. Talk is cheap. Results is what we need as a club. So that starts against Ross County. He's there effectively on loan to the end of the season. And for me, if he doesn't win the Scottish Cup, and we're saying push Celtic, it has to be push Celtic all the way right to the end. No double figures, because that's failure. If not, overtake Celtic and win the league, that'll be a success. If not, I think it has to be reviewed and we'll get another manager on. But I think behind the scenes, that we've gave him a trial. We've gave him a trial at the end of the season, so he's sounding better. But ultimately, it's on the park. It's results.
It's a results-driven business,
results, and that's it. It's as simple as that. There's no room for sentimentality here. Maybe a nice guy, but if he's not doing the business, he has to go. So good luck to him. I wish him all the best, but it's results.
And all this positivity, if we don't win on Sunday, it'll be a different show on Monday. Are you back with you?
Correct.
Oh, I'll come right back to you. Fox, you back? Oh, hope he's all right. On you go, Big Al.
Oh, well, that was pretty much it. I was just wanting to say that. But I thought Big David Bates, I thought his new name was the Ginger Bruno. Is that not right? I heard that in the grapevine.
Bruno.
No, there's no decent players called Bruno.
No.
Do you agree with that, Big Ulster?
Ginger Maldini, mate. Ginger Maldini.
Would you back me up on that one, Ulster? There's no decent football players called Bruno.
No good Brunos.
No.
I'm saying no more with that. Because Bridgeman knocks me out. But a bit like Al says, Al's correct there as well. You can talk.
Shout at Shockers.
Big Al's right. We've heard Mr. Wolford and all these rest. I've talked a good game. It's a matter of doing it. We have played well against Aberdeen. We've already beat them twice for that game, and we've done well against Celtic away from home. But we've been failing at likes of Ross County. So it's time now to put that talk into action and win these games, and that'll be the proof in the pudding.
Here.
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course you can. When you go out.
Sorry. I was listening to that Heart and Hand podcast last night, and I don't mean to go back over old ground, but it mentioned Aberdeen manager, and one of the reasons that he walked away was he put an ultimatum to the board in regards to that McGinn and Louis Moult coming in. Have any of you heard that? Or?
I haven't heard that. I've heard there was players, but I haven't heard specific players.
Right. Well,
I McGinn for Hibs.
Right.
McGinn for Hibs.
I was just trying to get... well, that's what we're saying. So what I was just thinking, Moult went away for 500 grand, yeah? Didn't he, Preston? How much would you realistically think that Hibs would sell that McGinn? To an English club, £1 million, £1.5 million. To us, what, 2.5 or something?
Again, now it depends how much length's left in his contract. This is the things that you don't know. I mean, let's just say he's got 18 months left, but I don't think John McGinn would come to us anyway, if I'm being really honest.
No, but I was just... The reason I was saying it was that £3 million quid, anyway. Just say a conservative estimate of £3 million quid, plus £1 million quid for... that's £4 million quid layout straight away to get a manager and just 2 players. So I think we've boxed clever, and we've definitely went with better options. And we've got, and although they're on loan, I'd probably, personally myself, I prefer Cummins than Moult, because he's Scottish. He's got some attachment to our club. And in the midfield, I'd probably say I prefer Docherty and the midfield that we already have in place. Barring injuries, we've got quite a good midfield.
Rudy, you championed Moult, didn't you?
I did, mate, aye. I think he would have been a great acquisition for the club, to be honest. You know, I think had we gone in last summer for him, I think we'd have got him. I don't think it would have been a problem. I think he'd have came to us. And a wee stat I mentioned near the beginning of the season, or maybe sort of halfway through the first part of the season, the only striker in Scotland to score 2 or more goals against Rangers, Celtic, Hearts, Hibs and Aberdeen. That said it all for me. That guy will score goals anywhere he goes. And I think the amount of chances...
He scored any goals for Preston?
I don't know. I don't know what he's done.
He's not even had a game yet, mate. He's not even had a game yet.
Yeah, I don't know what he's done since he went to Preston now, you know. But my point is, he scored 2 or more goals against the top teams.
Definitely.
The only striker in Scotland today, Alan. I think 500 grand. The amount of chances we create, I think he'd have been a sensation at Ibrox. I think, to be honest.
Would we have got him for 500 grand?
Well, I think so, Bridge. I think so.
I thought they were talking about £1 million for us. I thought they were going to try and sell it to us for £1 million.
Well, there's a possibility of that, isn't there? Because that seems to always be the case with clubs in Scotland when we go in for a player. I mean, look at the boy, you know, for Hearts, as we were talking about earlier. You know, ended up 300,000 at Wigan. You know, so aye, maybe they would have done it. I don't know. I just think if we'd have gone in with 500-600 grand, we'd have got him. You know, I think we'd have got him last summer, 500-600 grand. You know, but I think he's a cracking player.
Can I just put it there? I wouldn't want John McGinn anywhere near my club. I should have said Sloth. Sloth.
Can you give us an idea why would that be?
Because
John McGinn wouldn't want to play for our club. Move on away for that. We don't want to be talking about that. No, that's done, right?
But that thing that shouldn't stop us from bringing good players in. So that, because that is a bit Neanderthal thinking when you look at it that way. If he's a good player. We need to bring good players in. You know what I mean? We've had Italian caps. Italian caps.
I'm giving you my opinion. John McGinn when he signed for our club. When he signed for our club.
Well, of course, Hibs wouldn't sell him to us anyway. He wouldn't sell him to us.
Correct. Bridge is right. He's right. So, see, just in the transfer market thing, whatever the player goes to England, we would have got him for double or triple that. Yeah, that's the way the logic is working in Scotland.
Seems to be which is mental, isn't it? Mental.
Which is Neanderthal thinking as well. But that's good. Let them do that. They'll burn their own bridges and they'll burn themselves out. And I hope the day actually we'll just get bigger and stronger.
It's coming, mate. We're coming. It's a slow walk, but we're coming. Cumbrian Bear feels it, didn't he, Cumbrian?
Aye, because we've got the structure of the place at the minute. We've got good goal scorers. Alfie's a great wee goal scorer. Jason, this boy Cummins, I don't know. He looks as though he's going to be all right for us. And if he isn't, it doesn't make any difference. It's up to us. Whatever we've got is to make them the best, to make them the players that everybody wants. No some guy that plays out for Motherwell or somebody like that. The Rangers players we want them looking at, and I think Mr. Murty sort of hinted towards that. We want people looking at our players, no Motherwell's and Moss County's players. And we've got some cracking players. Everybody forgets that. We've got some really, really good football players. They've just not been trained right, and it's up to the present incumbents to get the best out of these boys. And I think these boys, once they get into it, once they get their heads down, once they just sharpen up their games, pretty it up a wee bit, I think they'll go on to quite good things.
Can I ask you, Cumbrian? I mean, you're a wise man, mate, apart from when your head gets turned with love.
Skipper was off cutting my grass, don't give me grief tonight.
Can I ask you about, I mean, I don't want to badmouth Pedro Caixinha, because he was one of your ex-managers and he's part of your family, if you like, Rangers family. But you wanted it to work for Pedro because that's the kind of fellow you are, but you could see it wasn't working. Do you think he tried to overcomplicate the game, or did he just underestimate Scottish football?
I just didn't think. At the end of the day, once you've seen what he left his way, he just didn't have it. He just wasn't good enough for the Rangers. As simple as that. And we do make mistakes, you know. I've started folk at work and just big mistakes, you know. And these things happen. But the good thing about the Rangers is our bounce back ability. We're back on their feet. We're off our knees and we're back on their feet. We'll be a force to be. I see.
Yes, and I hope Skipper bounces back soon.
Why was he? He's out of the hospital. Listen,
we'll be joined by George Long. On you go, Cumbrian, say what you want to say, then we'll go to George.
If anybody had heard that Dave King was hanging about, them to hear anything.
Dave King's been here since Wednesday. He was in the director's box.
For 11.
There's been rumours that he was at the BBC. We're meeting with him. Only rumours, nothing confirmed, and we don't know what's happening. Anyway, we'll be joined by George. Evening, George.
How you doing, boys? All right?
Hi, George.
It was a wee while ago you were talking about the transfer window. You've obviously moved on a wee bit now. But I mean, I think it was me and Fox that was speaking before the transfer window, maybe just after the AGM, and Fox said to me, do you think we're going to bring in any players? And I tell you, I always tell at the time there's got to be £4 or £5 million for transfer kitties. And I genuinely I believe that was got to be good enough. But in my own, we've not spent that. Obviously, these guys have been loan signings, but the money's been put down as in, this is what we're going to pay for this guy, such and such, such and such. So we've maybe spent £1 million, I don't know what I've spent. But in my honest opinion, Ox, I think we've actually spent, we've got better than £5 million worth of transfers than the guys we've actually brought in. I mean, the boy Goss, I don't think we'll be able to sign him. I've said before, the thing what he's worth. But these signings we've brought in, Ox, I'm not saying they're world beaters, but they've made our team a hell of a difference, Ox. And I think this is going to be the best transfer window. I think since the season before the UEFA Cup, I think this is your best transfer window since then. And if we get a couple of these guys out, Alves, and a couple of the other ones out, Ox, I think this has been a great transfer window. And it's good. Somebody just said a minute ago there, we're actually starting to feel like Rangers again. We're off our knees now, and we're actually starting to walk again. And we're becoming a bit of a laughing stock the way we're playing and the way we were carrying on and that. And don't get me wrong, I didn't think it's all got to be sweetness and light all the way. There's got to be some ups and downs. It could happen Sunday for all you know, Ox, but it's just good to feel like a proper team again, Ox. Aye, it is, Ox.
I mean, I like the players we've signed. I like Jamie Murphy. I think he'll be an asset. I mean, he didn't set the header on fire, but he showed glimpses on Wednesday night of what he could do, and he worked really hard. The boy Goss, mate, my understanding is that Man United they've still got a buy-back clause if he gets to a certain level with Queen's Park Rangers. Because when they went there, that was a deal. No, I don't know if that's true. That's just.
I was told any of $7 million and then it kicks in for Man United, Dogs. That's what I was told. So if they sell in for $8 million, it kicks in a percentage then. But anything below that, Man United earning nothing to do with it. Like, but they got him for 750,000 as well, Dogs. So it just goes to show you, Bridgman's probably right. Okay, we're talking about bringing in. No, nobody actually says boys for Hibs or anything like that. Like, and their boys going down there. A guy like that, 750 grand. They paid for him 2 years ago, Ox, or 3 years ago, Ox. I mean, there's players out there to be found. If we just go, if this guy Mark Allen can start doing the job, it looks like he's actually doing now. We might find a couple of these guys, Ox, might actually get a wee lucky streak because we've not had it for a long time, Ox.
By the way, that's one word you've hit right the nail on the head, mate. It's luck, mate. You can do the best scouting, the best thing, and he's your man, and he doesn't fit in with the blend of your team. And there's nothing wrong with the player you've signed, it just doesn't work, and that's football.
Doesn't fit, Ox? I mean, I think the most unlucky one for me in the last couple of years, Jordan Rossiter. I think that's just pure and utter unlucky for Rangers' point of view. I think we had a right talented lad in our hands there, and it's just no worked out, Ox. It might still work out. Didn't think it will, but it might still work out. But I think it just goes to show the kind of luck we've had since 2012.
Luck this season, George. He's been centre half rescinded, and then he gets a real sneaky one against them, you know.
We'll shut them up, Ox. See all the ones that are kicking us. We'll shut them up. We always do. We'll not get away with kicking us too much longer. Some of the tackles are disgusting. We will shut them up. We're the Rangers. People forget that.
Yep, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming, Bridgman, isn't it?
It is indeed, pal. It is indeed. You know, Cumbrian's saying we'll shut them up, but unfortunately for me and the rest of the Rangers fans, a lot of the people who are have a lot to say negatively about Rangers are actually ex-Rangers people, you know, which is one of the sad parts, you know. So I don't know how we're going to shut them up, but you never know your luck. Well, I just don't know, because you're hearing stories that McCoy's just continuing his negativity against the club, and I'm waiting on Boyd coming out to tell us. Remember, Boyd and Clark came out and told us about this disgraceful bid that we put in for their player. I'm just waiting to hear about this bid that they put in for one of Dundee players. You know, that nonsense. So I don't know if it'll go away. However, I'm very pleased with what's happening, and I'm over the moon. What's happening? Over the moon.
And I just say, Bridge, the way to shut them up, keep winning.
That's exactly it, pal. That's exactly it. We have to be careful, because I'm going to go back to the old adage: one game at a time. One game at a time. Win it, win it, win it. And we've got it looks like a decent coach. You know, he's doing well, and he's got a good squad of players in there. So let's hope they do it. And when you were talking about that young lad Goss, and that young lad Goss, if he plays for us to the end of the season, it's a big if, of course. If he plays a big part in our team, and we do well in the league, maybe get a run in the cup or anything like that. If he's a success for us, I don't see that young lad wanting to go back to QPR or wherever he came from. I think it's QPR, and go into the reserves, because he's never had a game for QPR that I know of. So there could be some negotiation there, a possibility. It's just a possibility. I don't know how much it'll cost, of course, so I've got no idea. But I think Rangers should be starting knocking on the door now, and start building the bridges there to see if we can get it, because he looks a quality player, really does.
The thing is, Bridge, we've done, everyone has done our thing with this week about Murphy looked like a player. We were all saying about Cummins never really got much of a chance when he came on, but we've been talking him up, Big Martin at the back, Goss. But see, running about that, I mean, we have spoke about it. We never actually spoke about. I mean, I thought we DJ had a great game the other night there. He's got his faults as well, Bridge. But I mean, he's one of our players now. Tav, I thought Tav was outstanding. I thought we Jason Holt, we've done really well the other night. They're like,
can I just say something, George? You two or three of the guys that you spoke about there, I think DJ had probably his best game in a Rangers jersey, and I think Holt had his best game in a Rangers jersey, if not in his whole career, and most assuredly Tavernier had the best game of his career in all probability. What a wonderful performance, and our goalkeeper, much the same, certainly in the last 20 minutes, out of this world.
Doesn't matter, but it's all about Sunday now.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Do you know what I mean, George? It's all about Sunday.
That's what I'm saying, Ox. See, as of like, we're all talking about Friday night, we're talking about the game during the week, Wednesday there. See, on Monday, when we come back on this show, it can completely different story again, Ox. So that's what I'm saying. We need to take the good with the bad. And by the way, I was one of the guys that turned around and said, I'm not sure about wee Murray. But see, if he continues like this, I'll be the first one to turn around and say I was completely wrong. And same with the board as well. I was like, if they didn't go for Stephen Naismith, well, obviously they've no went for him, and I think they should have went for him. They've no went for him, but by Jings, I've had to eat my words with the way they've conducted themselves getting all these other guys in, because I think that wee Dockett is a great sign. I didn't even know much about him, but for what I've heard now, so I think it's all positive.
What happens if Naismith's been told to prove his fitness before Rangers sign?
Well, didn't start talking like that, and get me excited for another 6 months. We'll just wait now.
Good point, though.
I said that to my father, actually, where he says, why did we not sign Naismith? And he says, Dad, you never know, maybe they're just getting them at Hearts, spend 6 months at Hearts, and if you prove you're good enough for the league and you're at a certain level, then we can come in for you again.
See, at the start of the season, but also I said about Big Lafferty, a lot of folks hang with me at the time as well. I said we could get, in fact, it was me and Rudy were saying about Big Lafferty and also the wee boy Moult for Motherwell. I was going on about the two quite a lot, and everybody saying, nah, no Big Lafferty. They're talking about Big Lafferty now. He's going to maybe go to Sunderland for £1 million or China for £1 million. That was just your luck. See, if you'd got that guy, nobody would have gone for him for £1 million. He'd probably been injured for the last 6 months.
George, you're right. We've noted sometimes the break of the ball, luck. I mean, look at Ryan Jack, Graham Thornton. You know, Bruno Alves has been injured about 4 times, different injuries. Do you think we'll see him, just quickly, the panel before we finish up tonight, do you think we'll see Bruno Alves back playing for us again? Ibrox loyal?
Definitely not, mate. I think he'll be away before the end of January's transfer window, mate.
Alright, mate. Have you got the yellow tie out the cleaners yet?
I have, mate. I have. I've got my suit and everything pressed, so...
Anybody doesn't know, Ibrox gets dressed up in the Jim White gear for the the transfer deadline day.
Jim, Do you think Bruno Alves will play for us again? Based on what I'm seeing at the moment, yes.
That is a girl's name for a football player, isn't it?
Hey, you. Beat it. Shocker. Absolute shocker.
Cumbrian Bear, do you think you'll play again?
If you keep yourself fit and are struggling in that part of the pitch, I don't see why not. And against some of the other teams, he would do a job.
Fox, are you with us?
I'm still on, mate. Aye.
Do you think you'll play again, Bruno?
I think he's away, mate.
Alright, okay. George, what about yourself?
I don't think you'll see you in January at Ibrox. I think you'll be away anyway. I think so.
Ready?
Aye, I think he's gone. I think that it's it was a Spienvento. I think they're interested in him. I think he'll go by the end of the January transfer window.
I think I've read somewhere that they've signed the centre half, but whether the goals they've.
I think all the deals are falling through.
Ulster?
Well, it was 95% that he would be going, but now obviously the spanner in the works with Wilson leaving. I think I think he won't maybe see him going until we can try and get somebody in that position. That'll be interesting to see. So I'm still 50-50 on that one.
Alright, Ulster, give us a shout out.
Yes, just a shout to everybody who's been listening and everybody who's been on the Facebook page. Thank you very much.
What is it?
There's radio live streams and we're getting new listeners in every night, so welcome you all to the show and I hope you enjoy it.
Cheers, big man. Rudy Bear.
Yeah, we shout out to Mr. Murray and the team. They used beating Aberdeen and putting on a great performance if you can't beat Ross County. Same again, please, on Sunday.
Thank you, Rudy. George Logan.
We shout out to all you guys for putting the show on again. Brilliant. We shout out to the Rangers. Hopefully can continue on Sunday again. Another wee 3 points. And I shout out to my mate Barry who's listening in the night for the first time as well.
Alright, George. Glad you get a mate.
One.
Fox, give us a shout out.
Good night, thanks for listening.
Alright. Cumbrian, always a pleasure. The most positive Rangers supporter I know.
Aye, my shout out goes to Mullmocker skipper. I hope the cream's no nothing too bad, pal. What the Rangers.
Ibrox Loyal.
Just a big shout out to Mr. Murray and the team. I feel positive for Sunday and I think we'll go up there and win 3-0.
Oh. What time's the kick-off? 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock, mate, aye.
Yep. Alright, so we'll be on at 1 o'clock. On you go, Bridge.
Well, can I just echo everybody's shout outs? I've really enjoyed it tonight. It's been really nice discussions and we've done our club proud by the way with this we've talked tonight. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, please keep it going for the Rangers. We're going to need it. Keep it going.
Can I thank everybody for taking part tonight? Big Al in Australia, Ulster, Rudy Bear, George Logan come in, Fox, the one and only Cumbrian Bear, Bridgeman and Ibrox Loyal. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon for a pre-match show. We look forward to your company. Take it away, Fox.
Show the world what they can do. I've heard you said that Real Madrid the greatest football team. I've even heard that Anderlecht the best they've ever seen. There's Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur too. There's Arsenal, Chelsea, Blackpool, just to name a famous few. Who's that team they call the Rangers? Who's that